Okay, what's happening, everyone? Today is Wednesday, I do believe, the 28th, and it's currently about 4 days after my fight. So, if you aren't following me on Instagram or anything, but I presume most of you are and stuff like that, I was making my professional debut in MMA over in Birmingham on Battle Arena MMA 62. Uh, the fight didn't go my way. What can I say? I learned a lot from it. It was a super close fight, even though the judges did score a unanimous decision for my opponent. But I haven't even looked back at the fight, but I knew like a lot of people after the fight came up to me, even still come up to me saying, "Look, your fight was super close. Could have been even a draw. I don't know how it managed to be a unanimous decision, but." I made a few mistakes in that fight and I'm going to go back and fix them, and it's only my first fight. I'm still young and I will be back much stronger. What can I take? The things I take away from this fight was, I said a few mistakes I didn't make. And it wasn't really a few, it was only one mistake. I started off too slow. So obviously it was my first pro fight and the rounds are 1 second. Let me fix this here. So bit more lighting. As you can see, I'm a little bit marked up, but anyways, yeah, as I was saying, the rounds are much longer than usual. Obviously, going from amateur to pros, you're going from 3 minute rounds to 5 minute rounds, and in my back of my mind, I trained so hard for this fight, and I knew my cardio was going to be really good, but I didn't know how. I was thinking, okay, if I start a little bit slower, and then as the fight goes on, and then I'll pick up the pace. But I just started off way too slow. I did lose the first round for 100% because I started off way too slow in that round, and then came to second round. Second round could have went either way, and I thought I definitely won the third round. I got some nice ground control. I think the last minute and a half to a minute, I took him down. I had a good ground control. He was kind of gassed in the last round. I was putting the pressure forward. I got him down. I landed some nice heavy shots, some heavy elbows on the floor. Caught him up in the first round as well. And look, I was happy with I'm not happy that I lost, but I was happy the way it kind of went because I didn't get dominated. Towards the end, I was dominating the fight. I didn't get caught. I did get marked up a little bit. I didn't get caught. My opponent ended up getting a load of stitches on his face because I ended up cutting up. And I think it was the first and second round. I ended up cutting up pretty bad with elbows. What else can I say? Look, I said I learned from this and I'll be back much stronger. And I'm just looking forward to getting back. But overall, I had an amazing time. It was only just me and my coach flying over. We flew from Belfast to Birmingham, which was an amazing. There's actually some absolute weirdos over in Birmingham, but we had a good time. We stayed there for about 4 days. The first day we actually got there, it was pretty warm. It was over 30 degrees Celsius. I'm not sure what that is in Fahrenheit, but I think it was like 32 degrees Celsius. Mad warmer the first day, but. Well, how long did we stay? We stayed for 4 days. So we went over on Thursday. We came back Sunday. Was about around 12 o'clock on a Sunday, maybe 1 o'clock. We were back in Ireland. Our flight did get delayed by about 40 minutes or so. But I had an absolute amazing time. Look, Birmingham was a beautiful city, especially during the day. But yeah, the amount of homeless over there is pretty mad. The amount of junkies over there was pretty mad as well. And if you're going out during the day, you don't really see that because it was so busy. But we went out a couple of times to get food during the night time. Well, not time, in the evening around 9-10 o'clock, and you can really see all the homeless because the streets aren't as busy in the evenings, obviously. But once it's during the day, about 12 to 12 to 7 o'clock, the streets are packed. There's the amount of street performers there as well and stuff like that. It's a beautiful city. Some really nice. And I've been over in Birmingham now a couple of times. I think like 5 or 6 times. And this was the first time. I was only telling my coach. It was the first time I've actually looked around and seen the architecture of the city. Like some of the buildings are absolutely amazing. Like the old school buildings, probably from like the 1800s. And I definitely recommend if you're into stuff like that, definitely go and visit Birmingham. We stayed in a good hotel as well. The hotel was actually pretty decent. It was very warm though because the hotel is actually, but it was so nice. It was kind of old fashioned, but it was really nice looking. and it was. I think he's gonna get demolished. It's getting demolished soon enough, but because it was so warm, we had no AC in our hotel room. Okay, so it was like, imagine, like, it was the first day we got there. It was like 32 degrees, and obviously in the room could have been up to about 40 degrees because there's no AC. The windows, you can only open them so much because we were like on the third, or I think we're on the third floor, so you can only open the windows so much. Obviously, I presume they do that because so people won't fall out the windows or commit suicide or something like that. That's why I think that if you ever go to a hotel and you notice that you're only allowed to you can only open the windows so much. I think that's what it's for. But yeah, we had no AC in the first day. It was mad warm. Done the weight cut on that Thursday. Actually, only had a little bit of weight to go. Only did, but I think I did 15 minutes in the bath, 15 minutes wrapped in towels, and we use, instead of the towels, we usually use towels, but this time we actually bought a sleeping bag. So I went into a sleeping bag. We put duvets over me. I sweated for another 15 minutes, and I think with 15 minutes in the bath, 15 minutes in the wrap, and I was on weight. I woke up, then obviously I couldn't eat anything, so I woke up a bit underweight. Had a little bit of water when I woke up, went to the weigh-ins, weighed in perfect. I think it was like 61 and a half kilos, which I think is 136 pounds on the button. I think, and that was the limit. Weighed in perfect, felt so good. And obviously then went back to the hotel where we actually went to a Tesco, got some stuff to rehydrate and stuff like that. I felt absolutely amazing, and even during the warm up, like the next day, I felt great. We did a little shakeout run after the day of the weigh-ins. So we've been on Thursday, we did a little shakeout that evening, and then Thursday, so Friday was the morning of the weigh-ins. So Friday evening, I rehydrated obviously a little bit. We're about 7 p.m. with a little shakeout workout, just some pad work, and then same thing the next morning. I did a little shakeout, and then obviously went to the venue. I felt great, and I haven't felt so calm for a fight before. Even being my first professional fight, there was a few other lads that were making their professional debuts there, and they did seem little bit nervous and stuff like that. I felt really calm, super confident, because I knew the amount of training I put into this fight. And I was going out there ready to dominate, and once the bell went, it was actually a nice walkout to Hot Blood by Calio. That was the name of the song that I walked out to. I think it's a pretty cool song, so that's why I actually decided to walk out to last minute, because my original song I was gonna walk out to Post Malone Rockstar. And then, well, so yeah, the fight started. As I said, I just started off way too slow in the first round. He was actually super awkward to fight. He was very bouncy, in and out, in and out, in and out. My plan was to try and time the low kicks on his calf. I didn't manage to land a good few, but he did manage to slide out as well. So first round, I tried to start off a bit slower, but obviously I started off too slow, which I do believe that lost me the fight. First round, I was the same previously. I did lose for 100%. The second round, now, it could have went either way. It was super close. Now, some people told me when they were watching the fight, they thought I won the second round. Oh, it could have been at least a draw. And then the third round, I thought I won. I dominated the last round. I took him down, had good ground control, as I said. Most of his shots, I was able to slide out. So he was winging, I can see him loading up his right hand. That was his main weapon. So I can see him loading up. And as soon as he was throwing him, I was just able to slide out a little bit, and he wasn't catching me. Like, my chest was actually a bit sore after it, and my collarbone, because every time I slid out, he was just short and he was landing on my chest constantly. The only thing I did was wrong, when I was sliding out and he was hitting me on the chest, I should have been countering straight away, but I didn't ever counter. I just wasn't ready for that, because I knew he was going to be using his right hand a lot, and kept throwing. So I had some nice combinations set up for it. But he was so bouncy, in and out, in and out, in and out. It was so hard to time. Even my takedowns, I shot for a couple of takedowns in the second round, and he ended up sprawling because he was so in and out, and I just couldn't time it perfectly. As soon as I shot, he was bounced out and sprawled. But I did manage to get some nice fence control as well in the second round, I think. I still haven't looked over the fight. but I will look over in the next few days and see what I did wrong, fixing mistakes. But overall, I had an amazing time. After the fights, we just got a lot of food. We were actually gonna go to to a restaurant, like to an Italian or something like that. But we went up to an Italian, and Keith, my coach, goes, "Do you want to have an Italian?" I said, "Yeah, okay, let's go for an Italian." We got there, but as soon as I got there, I looked at the menu and I was like, "Oh, you know what? I'm actually not feeling Italian." So when they went to a different one, I looked at the menu. I was like, "Oh, I'm not feeling this." And then he goes to me, "Do you want to just get a McDonald's?" And I was like, "Yeah." So we just got a McDonald's, chilled out that day. That McDonald's was actually super nice, and the weird thing is in Birmingham, in what we say was like the bull. I think it's called the Bull Ring. So that's where the center of where the big shopping center is and stuff like that. And there's like three McDonald's there, and they're all literally about 200 meters away from each other. So we actually chose one that we could order ourselves. Not ourselves, we had to go up and order, because the other ones we just had to use the machines and stuff like that. So we didn't bother that. So we went to that one. So we just ended up getting McDonald's. It was actually a super nice McDonald's. One of the nicest. I think we got like a first day. I think we got like a wrap or something like that, and then we went. I think we went the next day as well, and I ended up getting like some mad burger or something like that. It was pretty. That was after the fight, obviously. That was after the fight, so I ended up getting a mad burger. It was actually pretty tasty as well. But yeah, went to a couple of Italians, and because before, like after the fight, I was mad for some pasta. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna go get some pasta after the fight, definitely. So we went to Italians, and I was like, you know what, I don't want this. I was like, I don't want that. And like I ended up getting McDonald's out of all things to eat after the fight. After being so strict with my diet for like so many weeks, I ended up getting McDonald's instead of getting something like nice, maybe a steak or something like that. But yeah, overall it was an amazing trip. I really enjoyed it. I know I didn't win the fight, but as I said, I'm young. I'll be back. It's only my first fight. I'm still 22, so I taking a few days off now training to heal up. I should be back training tonight, actually, which is actually a Wednesday. So I fought on a Saturday, so we're about 4 days. So tonight I can't run because my foot is a bit swollen. There might be some damage done to it, because I did land a couple of inside leg kicks, and one of them did land on his knee. So that, I think my foot is a little bit damaged because it is pretty swollen. But I should be back training this evening. I was going to go running, but obviously my foot is swollen, so I'm going to jump on the rower, concept 2 rower, do some rowing, maybe do like a 5k row at a light pace, just to get back into the swing things, because right now I'm finding that I'm just sitting at home, I'm resting, and I'm just out of the routine, and all I'm doing is eating, constantly eating. So I don't know, I haven't weighed myself yet, so I'm trying to get back into my diet. So today is actually the first proper day of dieting. It's 11 o'clock right now in the morning. I woke up about 8 o'clock. I had my breakfast and stuff like that, and I haven't eaten anything bad yet. Compared to like my other, like say 2, 3, 4, like 3 days ago, I was waking up just eating sweets and stuff like that, because obviously I was on a diet for so long, and I haven't eaten stuff like that in ages. So now my body was kind of craving sweets like that. But I was getting to a point when I was eating and I wasn't even enjoying the food. I was just eating because I could. But now I'm trying to get back into the routine from today on. Obviously, as I said, I'll be back training today, and then tomorrow I should be back training fully. I'll do an morning session probably. I'll do my evening session, and then that'll get me back into the routine. But yeah, overall, I'm happy with my performance. Not happy that I lost, obviously, but I'm happy the way I performed in the later rounds. I was super happy the way my cardio played up. I didn't even feel tired at the end of the fight. It was actually weird, because I think it was in the last round. I usually do, so after the second round finish, went back to my corner, I don't sit down, we just usually stand in between fights, so I was standing, I put my hands on my coach's shoulders, and in as he used to give me instructions in my head as well, I was listening, and then like towards the end, I was like, I had my hands on his shoulders, and in my mind I was like, why do I even have my hands on his shoulders, because I don't feel tired or anything at all, so I had to take them off. I was super happy about that, the way my cardio played up. Obviously my coach Key, he does a specific strength and conditioning blocks for me coming up to my fights, so we know it works perfectly. So next fight, I know what I need to fix. I need to be more aggressive in my next fight, because I started off way too slow. I need to put more combos together, a little bit more head movement, even though my head movement was decent enough in that fight, even though I'm pretty marked up over here. We can't really see it. It's kind of gone down a little bit. But yeah, overall, as I said, I'm happy with the way I performed. Obviously, as I said, before about the 1000th time already, I did lose, but I'm back stronger and stuff like that. What else? That's about it. That I want to talk about my fight. I don't really have any notes to see. I usually have notes for this that I've written down what I want to talk about. I did watch the TJ Dilashaw versus Corey Sandhagen fight as well. I was pretty impressed with TJ, but I thought that Corey was gonna go out and win, and Corey looked amazing in the first rounds, and then TJ looked actually pretty tired at the end of the third round, and I was like, geez, TJ looked old as well in that fight, which I noticed, and then he looked like he was gassed, but in the fourth and fifth round, he kind of looked like he caught his second win and started putting more pressure on Corey Sandhagen. I know he blew out his knee in the first or second round, so TJ fought with a blown out knee. He did get cut pretty bad. The fight could have been actually been stopped, because I did see pictures of the cut that he got on his eye right here, and it was a crazy cut. And it was deep enough. I think Dana White put it up on his Instagram or something like that, and it was actually a really deep cut, so the fight could have possibly been stopped. But look, TJ's back, so he did look really old. Obviously, I think he's like 35 years of age at the moment, so he's not getting any younger. So he'd probably fight for the title against the winner of Peter Yan versus Aljamain Sterling. I presume that's what's going to happen, and I do think that Corey Sandhagen is still one win away from a title fight. So I'd love to see Corey Sandhagen fight somebody like Rob Font, because Rob Font is ranked number 3, I think. So I won't mind seeing Corey Sandhagen versus Rob Font. He'll fight the winner of whoever TJ fights. So if TJ fights, say, Aljamain Sterling or Peter Yan, I do believe that Peter Yan is going to beat Aljamain Sterling again, so I presume then TJ will fight Peter Yan. I think Peter Yan beats TJ as well, to be honest. I think TJ just looked very old in that fight against Corey, and then I do believe we're going to see Corey Sandhagen versus Peter Yan at some stage, maybe even in Russia or something like that. That might happen, you never know. But yeah, what other fights was on? I don't even, because I have no notes, I don't even remember what other fights were on. I don't think there was any other huge fights on that weekend. Let me read quickly. I know Bare Knuckles on. Paige Van Zandt was fighting Rachel Ostovich, and I do know Paige Van Zandt did lose. And I didn't watch the fight, but I did hear a lot of people talk about it, and it seemed like Rachel just dominated Paige Van Zandt. Even though the next day after the fight happened, I went onto Instagram and I did see videos, obviously after the fight, of Paige Van Zandt, and when Rachel Ostovich's hand got raised, Paige Van Zandt kind of looked shocked. So I thought personally the fight was really close, but then I was listening to a couple of podcasts and they were saying no, Rachel Ostovich dominated every single round. But in that fight, look, Rachel's good. Obviously she got cut from the UFC. Not sure what her record in the UFC was, but I'd say she made a little bit of money from fighting Bare Knuckles. She'll probably fight again or do some celebrity boxing. I don't know what she'll do next, or maybe she'll sign with Bellator. Not sure what she's gonna do next. But yeah, I think that's all I want to talk about. Just a quick recap of my fight, obviously, and as I said, I have no notes written down, so I'm just talking out of my head, whatever I can think of. But I don't really think I have anything else to talk about. But yeah, as I say, regard to my next fight, I'm thinking hopefully I'll be back early November, late October. That's the goal. So I'm going to obviously I took a few days off with my foot just to heal up. I'm going to take like 2 weeks off sparring. Obviously I took some shots to the head, so I don't really want to go back to sparring yet. So I'm going to take 2 weeks off sparring, and then I'll jump back straight into another camp for 8 weeks, and then get my fucking first win then in the pros, you know what I mean? And I'll be more prepared for my next fight than I was this fight, because I know what I need to do next, and I know that my hard cardio, it will be able to hold up for a faster pace, obviously. And I'm definitely, the goal still remains the same. I'm gonna still keep chasing the goal, you know. The goal doesn't change even though I lost. As I said, I'm still young. I have a lot of time in the game left. I still got about another 12, 13 years in this game, so I've still got a long way to get to the top. So yeah, look, thanks for watching. I hope you really enjoyed this video. I know it was a bit laid back, it was a bit slow and stuff like that. I was actually off YouTube now for about a week, probably. My last video was probably like a week or a half ago, because obviously I was a little bit busy with a fight. But as I said, this is episode number 9, so we should have episode number 10 out later on this week, and I'm obviously going to make sure I'm smashing out 2 episodes a week and stuff like that. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure you go like, comment, subscribe and stuff like that. Hit the bell button for the notifications, and follow me on Instagram and stuff like that. And definitely come back for more videos, and I'll see you in the next one.